Hello everybody. We will present today our first tutorial to how learn coding, how be a good programmer. I mean that is need much practice in future, but we will present here the basis. So the basics things. First things to do is really to dedicate this video tutorial for someone who I love so much, and I want her to learn to hack coding. It's for Anna from Sweden. I hope you will follow very good the instruction and the tutorial and to become a good programmer. Okay, so let's start by the first thing is how to resolve a problem. I mean this really relation with the resolvement to the following instruction from a program like write a program which calculate the sum of two numbers. I mean integers number. Integer. So, for example, this is the problem number one. Okay. We have something called algorithm. Is really the interpretation. Is interpretation of the following instruction to do in a logical mode. So we start by the first things is to write an algorithm. We start by the key words who is algorithm. Okay, sometimes in French we use like with the E, but in English we don't need to do. It's just a syntax. It's not really necessary to write it. For example, algorithm P1, and you make a point and comma. Some people don't use that, but it's not really important. It's just to how to learn. So we can analyze this program, write a program or algorithm. In our case, we didn't arrive yet to programming, which calculate the sum of two numbers from type integer. So we start by talk about the identificator of, maybe it's really error here, identifiant in French of the algorithm. Each algorithm, which is here the key word, have some identifiant who make a reference to this algorithm, and we call it here the ID, the identificator or ID. Well, after writing this first sentence, we try to talk about some variables. We use the keyword var. We have here, write a program, calculate the sum. So we need to have something like sum, where we need to put the result of sum of two words, sum. This the first variable we need here. We have two numbers, so we put number 1 or A, and the second number is B. both number is from type integer. Yes, we can. We should learn how is the type of the variables. We can make another tutorial before this one to talk about the type of variables, about what is the variables, about the case memory, and many other the cells memory and other things like that. Here we make just the syntax to explain. So we have a variable sum a b integer. After we need to ask the user. Before that, this is just, we call it the declaration part. The first part is the declaration of variables. We have also some constant and another things, we will talk about them later. So after each algorithm start with the word begin and finished by the k word end. We can write it, we can use some upper character to reference the k word. It's better. Begin. Here we have const. We have const. يا رب راني الرونجي سيري، علاش تجي تحلي في فمك هنا؟ من الصباح وانت تهضري ما حبيتش نريبوندي لك. افهمي بلي راني ندير حاجه. ما تهمك والو، راح يغلق الباب. خي عقليه تاعك تاع الجهل هذه. ما تزيديش تدخلي وما تزيديش دقيقه وما تجيش تهضري معاه. هلا يا اخي كاع منطاليتي مقودة. So after I write this syntax, we need to read the variables, read the input variables. We have two variables here. We have a and we have b. So to read something, we need to use the keyword read. It's a predefinition function, and you can read about that and search in the web and internet to see how it will work. Or after I will make some schema illustrative and can explain that how it works. The difference between read and write. Right, it's in screen in the console, and read it some input, some values used by or put it by the user of our algorithm. The second thing, we can here write like that, we call it as string in French is de caractère. Put the first value. Here we read it, and after we do the same but with b. The first value a. Here the second value b, and we read b. After that, we have two variables. So what we need to do is the last step is to send the value to. We can use like that equals, or some people use less than and some character like that. I prefer to use equals because it's in almost of language programming we use equals, sum a plus b. Point comma is necessary after each instruction. Here instruction can be affectation like that, it's read from input, it can be a write, it can be a condition. There are many things we call it affectation. So I need really to put another tutorial to talk about these basis things. So here is just to say the formula of an algorithm. After calculated sum, we need to write it in screen, and so we need to use the keyword write, and we put the sum of a and b is, and we write it comma sum, and it will show in screen. The program will finish by screen. When we use a double slash, it means to talk about this is commenter. So commenter, it will not be compiled when we compile the programs